Welcome back to Nick in Detail. I'm Nick, and in today's video, we're going to be previewing the All Blacks and South Africa series, Rugby's Greatest Rivalry, which starts next weekend. In this video, I give my thoughts on the upcoming games, who will be the one to watch, and for me, give my prediction for how the All Blacks South Africa test matches will get on. But without further ado, let's get into today's video. Arguably, what has been the most talked up series over the last year or so is finally about to get underway. Next weekend, Rugby's Greatest Rivalry for 2026 is underway. All Blacks against South Africa, although the All Blacks will actually play their club sides amongst it as well, and we'll have 4 test matches against the Springboks. The last one to be played in Baltimore in the United States. Let's get my thoughts on the upcoming series. This is going to be an absolute blockbuster. 1v2 in the world. Also the teams that finished 1 and 2 in the Rugby World Cup in 2023. Not only the 2 teams that come in with pretty decent form. Of course, we got the Nations Championship, which wrapped up a few weeks ago. South Africa currently top of the Southern Hemisphere ahead of the All Blacks. Both teams 3 wins from 3, but South Africa have been absolutely unstoppable. 3 big wins and their matchups as well. And for the All Blacks, of course, being that because they didn't quite beat France quite convincingly in that first game, behind on that points differential. But yes, very much this game's promised to be an absolute blockbuster. Both these teams coming in with great form. We know the rivalry and the history behind these games as well. It's going to make it an absolute classic. We know the All Blacks have got a pretty big squad to pick from as well. 44 players have travelled to South Africa for this series, of course, very much helping the fact that they're also going to play their professional club rugby sides over there as well, just to build some minutes. And of course, that means, of course, a few extra players being selected in the squad. But despite that, this does promise to be a really entertaining series. I think both these teams have been playing some really great rugby at the moment. South Africa, of course, very much the benchmark of World Rugby over the last couple of years, and the depth and the quality they have in that squad. I think that game against Scotland a few weeks ago, more specifically, just showing just how much of quality this South Africa team has, regardless of whether it's your strong starting 15 or even your strong matchday 23 team. They've still got plenty of quality and class in that team. And of course, for the All Blacks, we're kind of still trying to figure out, ideally, their squad depth. I think they've shown great signs over the last, few Nations Championships games, and they've got plenty of depth to come in. But I think South Africa very much at the moment that benchmark of World Rugby, and very much in terms of that quality. Also, there's going to be that chat about that bomb squad. We know obviously that big change in that front pack in the second half is going to make a huge difference. It has very much steamrolled teams so far over the last couple of years. I think that's going to be another big talking point, but of course as well the altitude. We know how hot, we know how humid it is in South Africa. I think that's going to make it a big challenge as well. Particularly coming here from New Zealand winter weather at the moment as well. It's going to be very interesting to see how the All Blacks acclimatise. I think that's also another reason why we've got these professional club games as well, just for that squad to acclimatise to the difference in altitude between South Africa and New Zealand. But this series is going to be an absolute blockbuster, and of course we get 4 test matches as well, which is going to be an absolute thriller to watch. So for me, who is going to be the one to watch? Well, one player actually coming back in the squad is the one I'm going to be keeping my eye on, Fabian Holland. He had a great year last year. In fact, picked up the Breakthrough Player of the Year last year because he was just that great coming into that Scott Robertson team. We actually haven't seen him this year. He actually didn't play super probably for the Highlanders this year because he actually did a shoulder in pre-season. I think it was his first pre-season game for the Highlanders. So we didn't even get to see him last year, well, I should say this year, in Super Rugby. He played 1 game for Otago in their pre-season for the NPC. What was actually the Ranfurly Shield defence, and then now from that game has been cleared and is over in South Africa with the All Blacks. But he's just such a big physical presence. He made a big difference in that All Blacks pack last year, and very much expecting him to do the same, particularly against the South Africa team, which we know are have big bodies in that front pack. But just for me, Fabian Holland made an absolute difference to that All Blacks, 4 and 5 jersey that he wore last year. And I think very much expecting him to do the same this year. Particularly, as I said before, he's not really played rugby at all this year to date. So I think very much you can have that motivating factor coming back in. But also, particularly as well, I've been impressed with the likes of Sam Darry. Even Patrick Tuipulotu against Ireland last time out was very impressive. And of course, Tupou Vaa'i as well, because we know he can move around the positions. So very much a lot of quality and depth in that 4 and 5 jersey for the All Blacks. But for me, Fabian Holland, the Dutchman, it's going to be the one for watch for me. Very interesting to see how he's going to come back into this All Blacks environment, as I said before, particularly when he's not really played a whole lot of minutes this year in rugby. So what is my prediction for this series? Well, this is going to be very tight, very close. I believe that this series could honestly go either way. I think if the All Blacks play like they did against Ireland, where I thought they were absolutely outstanding, I think very much they can challenge the South Africa team, but South Africa are going to be very tough to beat in South Africa in their conditions as well. As I said, that altitude is going to play a massive advantage for them in this series. But for me, I'm actually going to go for a 2-all series draw. I don't think anyone's going to win this series. This is going to be a toe-to-toe, end-to-end series that, honestly, as I said before, could go either way. Particularly as well that last test match, which is actually going to be going to Baltimore, interestingly enough as well. As obviously we know, World Rugby trying to expand that big sporting market that the United States have, very much trying to bring World Rugby into that environment. And I thought as well, particularly that will be yet another change of conditions as well, particularly as, of course, we get to the American NFL season coming up as well, where we do see those really cold weather and winter blasts coming in as well, which could also make it a whole different atmosphere as well. But yes, very much for me, I believe this All Blacks team can challenge South Africa. For me, if they want to really get into this series, they're going to have to do it early on. I don't think it's going to be a too little too late thing. I think they're very much going to have to be, from that first game, very much on it. I think South Africa, once they get a grip on the series, they're not really going to be turning back. So for me, those first 2 test matches in particular as well are going to be the ones really to watch. But for me, I believe the All Blacks are going to put on a good fight against the South Africa team, particularly with the way Dave Rennie has really got that team playing. I'm a big fan of how he's got that attacking, aggressive style of this All Blacks team, something that I think we've really not seen, in fact, lacked in the last couple of years as well. But yes, for me, this series is going to end as a 2-all draw. No one's going to take it out. And yeah, it's going to be very exciting to see how these 4 test matches will go, and particularly the one going over, of course, to Baltimore as well for that 4th and final test match. But that's going to be it for me. Yeah, really great to have this series coming up. I think this is a great initiative from both Rugby South Africa and New Zealand Rugby to have an every 2-year tour as well. Of course, we'll see the next one in 2 years where South Africa will come here, and of course, very much vice versa for the next, however many years we get this series. But I think still, it's going to be very exciting having this big tour back, and very much South Africa as well is going to be a massive one, particularly both these teams playing some pretty decent rugby over the last few weeks. But for me, that's going to be it, and until next time, I'll see you later.